Okay guys, so I'm Magnus. I've been making all of the HeroForge Eliksni characters from Destiny. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to actually make one for yourself. You'll have to bear with me. I've never done a tutorial video before, so just bear with me. I'm sincerely sorry. I do have my reference photos up on my phone. I'm just sharing my screen with you guys. So I'm going to show you how to make Eramis today. Everyone's favorite Darkness Queen. So let's do this. So what I start with is just one of the default humans. So I'm going to go with this. And what I do is I first go to head. And where is it? I choose the featureless head. Because this does involve kit bashing, a lot of kit bashing. The most of it comes from the kit bashing feature with Pro. So just, I don't really worry about facial details and all that kind of stuff. So like, I delete the hair, I delete the eyes, and I delete the ears. Teeth I don't worry about. I mean, it doesn't really show up at all. Now, next is going to be her body. So what I do is I go to the actual body types, and since Eliksni have only like about the 3 fingers usually, and they're more insect-like creatures, I do the insectoid torso, and I select 4 arms. I don't worry about the legs, because if you do mess with the legs, a lot of the other options don't allow you to add shoes, so that gets a little bit frustrating and weird. So next, you basically just go into measure, and I find it easier to work with much bigger characters, and plus Eliksni are usually pretty tall, especially Eramis. So I'm gonna make her pretty tall. I'll go for like 7 foot, I guess. Obviously you gotta scale up the head, because, well, the head doesn't really scale, sadly. And so, let's see, she's got a pretty kind of like thinner, lankier figure. Give me 1 second to look up a decent reference photo. I'm scrolling through on my phone. Okay, so yeah, she has like a more thinner, more feminine figure, I guess. But she is kind of like a bit of stockier build at the shoulders. So basically you just go in here and you mess with the body measures, trying to get it as close as you can to the character that you're trying to make. So I'm going to give her like a slightly larger build. There we go. I usually bring the bust way down, because Eliksni don't really have, even the more feminine ones don't really have like a big chest or anything like that. Plus when you take off clothes, which I'll do in a sec, so I can show you guys, like, you don't really get too much of a bust, so it doesn't really matter. Let me see, so, yeah, I'll take off the clothes now, because really, there's not much of a purpose. You're gonna redo the whole outfit, and it's easier to see with everything taken off what the measures are. So, let's see, she definitely has like a more curvy figure, so I will go into curves and increase that a bit. Yeah, I'd say that's about right. So next up that I do is the clothing. Now what you're going to want to do for this is like the very bare minimum basic stuff. Because you've only got like 20 kit bashing slots right now, but it does help if you can get down just the basics and add the details later with kit bashing. So let me find, this is okay. Okay, I think probably the electric grease would be better for this. If I can find where it is. Might be in the other over jacket category. Let's see. Oh, cool. Okay, so it is here. So yeah, this is closer to what Eramis has. And then let me see what like chest armor she's got. Okay, so she doesn't really have chest armor too much. I can see if there's something that like is an overlay that'll fit, but sometimes it helps a lot if you filter out between like sci-fi and fantasy and even modern, because you'll just get a lot better results and find stuff that's more fitting depending on what you're trying to go for. So let me check fantasy and see if there's anything that might suit this. This actually might be pretty good. Never mind, that's not good. Okay. Also, like, when you put on some of the overlay stuff, you might have to mess with the measurements of your character through the body tab, just to make sure stuff actually fits better. Because, I mean, like, you'll get stuff like this, and it's more form-fitting, but then if you were to put on something that's like this, it kind of increases the look of the body size, so messing with things as you go along, fine-tweaking stuff, that's going to be a lot of what you're doing up until the point where you're kit bashing. So yeah, I'm not really seeing anything that's suitable, so I'm just going to kit bash the rest on. Now, for her shoulder armor, the closest that I could think of that would fit well is this. That's very much like what she has. So, let's see, what do her leg armor stuff look like? Okay, so, now for her legs, she has more of an armored look. So I'm gonna go, that's okay, no, that's not a good look. It's a lot of trial and error with this, just seeing what does and doesn't fit. Let me go into modern and see if there's something that can work. Okay, so that actually could be a good base. Let me see what else there might be. No, I don't like that one as much. Alright, what else is there? No. Alright, so I'm just gonna stick with this. Now, she has sort of like a tabard, so... Yeah, alright, so I think we're gonna do the Paladin's tabard, let me see. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go with this. Alright, and now for her feet, she's got very kind of like futuristic sci-fi boots. Alright, so that's a bit too tall. Maybe like power armor boots would work. Actually, let me see that. Alright, so that's a bit more close to like what she's got. Try that. Alright, that versus that. I think this would be a better option. Okay, so I'm gonna stick with this. Alright, and now the hardest part with designing Eliksni is definitely the helmet. The helmet is the majority of your kitbashing slots. So, Eramis' helmet is very, very detailed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go with a basic mask shape. This would be very close to what she has for a mask. And then I usually do like a very primitive kind of helmet shape. So like something that's not too overly detailed, something very simplistic that would also just serve as a good base to build for the kit bashing. No, that's not gonna do very well. Alright, you know what? I'm actually thinking I'll just stick with that. Okay, and now let me look for some relevant gloves for her. Now, the trouble with these insectoid torsos is that they don't really give you a whole lot of glove options. You'll see how most of them are just grayed out. So I don't know if there's like a way to filter which ones you can and can't use. I just kind of scroll through. I try to find stuff that might work. If I find something cool, I use it. If not, I just kind of like kit bash parts on to make gloves. No, that doesn't work. She's got like stuff on her hands. It's not bracers, it's like actually gauntlets. Like gloves, sort of. So that will not really. So yeah, like I said, it's a lot of trial and error. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna kit bash some gloves on. Alright, so this is the very basic base of Eramis right now. So the next step is obviously just doing the stage. It's whatever really you want to do with it. It doesn't have to be anything specific. And then the most important part is getting the pose down, because once you start doing kit bashing, you can't really change the pose at all unless you want to be shifting around every single kit bashing part that you've done. So I'm gonna do this pose, I think. I try to do something that's like dynamic, and yet I can edit the pose. Obviously, that's a feature for anyone and everyone. Okay, this is actually pretty close to her iconic pose, so I'm gonna go into the advanced tab and start messing around. Now, the annoying thing about doing forearms is that these bottom arms, you'll notice, will mess with the top arms, whereas the top arms, you'll see, will mess with the bottom ones. So it'll throw you off a bit. You just kind of gotta go a little carefully, I guess. Take it one step at a time. Alright, so... Okay, so now here comes the kit bashing. So I will start with Eramis' helmet. I'm gonna save it again. Okay, let's see. So, she has sort of like a mask that comes down and connects with this. So I'm gonna go into helmets here. And, this is one that I really like, the Open Soul helmet. That provides a lot of cool details. But I don't think it's gonna fit with this. So I'm just gonna scroll through, see what might work and might not. Excuse me. And the thing is, like, I'll show you, I'm gonna change a lot of the shapes for a lot of this kind of stuff. Now, this seems like it might actually very well work. So what I'm gonna do is shift it to here, and I am used to doing this a lot, so I use hotkeys to translate its T, to rotate its R, to scale its S. It's pretty straightforward. But basically, I try to like position stuff as best I can before I start like rotating it. Push that back a bit more. Okay, so let me try and fix that. Okay, so yeah, this will actually work pretty nicely. Now, what I'm gonna do is, you see how I'm like pushing it in, so it hides the most of the helmet details. You really only get like this side portion plus this top portion. And what I will do is I'm gonna move it down a bit so you don't even get that clipping through the top. And then you'll notice like there's all these little dots and stuff here. Those are points that you can move and adjust to whatever you need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that one because it's more towards the front. It controls like this area. And I'm going to move it down and forward. I'm going to pull this forward as well. And I'm basically just going to try and adjust it to the point that I need it to be. So that actually doesn't look half bad. Oops, that is not the right point. Okay, so let me find the right point to like make this a bit higher. I might not even need to actually. Yeah, this actually looks pretty okay. Alright, so now Eramis does have some details on her mask. Looks sort of like piping and whatnot. So let me look for kind of like a gas mask sort of thing. Alright, so masks, okay. I'm gonna use this one. Yeah, I'll use this, and I'm gonna bring it to here. And what I will do is I'm gonna rotate a lot of it. And I'm gonna scale it down a lot. I'm gonna let's translate it up and out a bit. Just kind of like finagling things as you go along. It's going to be a lot of the kit bashing process. Alright, so I do like this. Yeah, I really like how that looks. So I'm going to rotate it a little bit better. No, that was fine as it was. I think it's... Yeah, there we go. Okay. So yeah, that looks nice. And then I'm gonna bring this out a little bit so it looks more even with this side. There we go. Yeah, so now you've got like this matched kind of with this. Okay, and so for the big details of her helmet, she's got like those spikes at the top. One of my favorite parts to use for that is actually in the shoulder pad section. It's this one right here, the Honorable Cauldrons. They are very interesting to use. They're very versatile. I actually used them when I made barracks, and I sort of just kind of like used that to make the side of his spear. So for this, what I'll do is kind of like rotate it. Alright, I'm actually gonna do like that. Yeah, because short apart on the bottom, longer on the top, and then I will just kind of rotate it. What sucks is the mirroring of the kitbashing feature, so like if you wanted to duplicate this, you'd have to like duplicate it and then manually like shift it into place with the rotate tool. If you try to use like the flip feature, it actually flips it long ways instead of like wide. So it would like flip this upside down instead of just kind of like mirroring it. It's kind of annoying in that aspect, but hopefully that will change in the future. Alright, so now that I've got that, I'm going to go to the scale tool. And what I will do is I'm going to make it very, very tall. And much more narrow. And then I'm gonna kind of like move it. I'm gonna rotate it a bit better so it's like that. Okay, so alright, no, that's way too much angle. Okay. So I will do this and then move it out of the way a little bit. So you got that. Okay, and then I will add like an extra detail on there to finish up her helmet a little bit. But for now you got like this. So I'm gonna duplicate that. And you'll see what I mean now when I say like, so if I wanted to flip this, it flips it long ways like that. So it's kind of annoying just having to rotate everything manually. Anyway, so now I got that. I'm gonna translate it into place. Yeah, so that's about right. And then I'm gonna rotate it to fit. It's actually pretty close as it is. Let me just angle it a bit. Okay. Now, let me see how that matches up with that. Yeah, that's pretty close. Okay, so I'm going to keep that. And what I'm going to do from here is, she has like more of a like elongated spike that goes here. So I'm going to... A lot of shoulder cauldrons go into this. So I'm actually just going to put in a regular size one and shrink it down a bit. So let me go... Nope, my HeroForge crashed. Okay, give me 1 second, I gotta refresh it. Firefox really does like to crash HeroForge a lot, it's quite infuriating. Anyway, so... Alright, now it should work. Also, you'll know, like, if it's crashing when, like, you try to select this and you do, like, I've got it on scale right now, translate, nothing's working. Alright, Okay, so I'm just gonna... Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, it was very much crashing. It was kind of weird and freaky. For some reason, this is not working out, so no matter what I do to this piece, it's like, once I bring it over here, it's just not working. Kitbashing is kind of still just a new feature, so they're going to encounter a lot of strange glitches and whatnot, like I've been experiencing. It's to be expected. I'm not going to worry about it. Honestly, HeroForge team's awesome. If you guys ever have any issues, of course, just reach out to them. They're there to help, and they're really friendly people, honestly. They've helped me a lot. So, let's see. I'm gonna move this up and kind of like shift it into place. I'm gonna bring that up even a little higher. Just kind of see. Scale. I'm gonna make that wider, so it's like this. Perfect. Now let me bring it forward a little bit. Oh, that looks gorgeous. Okay. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna duplicate it. Alright, so I've got the most of her helmet. She's got like some more small spikes like right here. So I'm gonna add those in. So let me find something that would be applicable. I might just use horns. Horns are also a very, very good addition to this. You can finagle the horns a lot more than you can like finagle other parts of kitbashing, so I do prefer to go with that. So I'm gonna go use this. I'm not gonna use the snap tool right now because that seems to be what was causing my issue before. So let me pull this into place and. Alright, so that's pretty good. Okay. So next up would be the giant darkness ice spikes that Eramis has like going around her shoulders. So I'm gonna look in capes and like shoulder, chest kind of items. So what I will do is first back items, there we go. Okay, anything that has like a lot of detail in one piece, you're gonna want to favor that, because again, you've only got the 20 kitbashing slots and I'm already at 8 out of 20, so it's important to try and get as much detail as you can in one part, just so you don't have to go over your kitbashing limit and be like, oh crap, I've got more details that I'm missing, that kind of stuff, you know. So I can't find anything. I will see if there's maybe something in like a helmet. Now this is one of my other favorite pieces. This might actually do very well. So this has like a lot of different spikes all at once, and like I said, using something that has a lot of detail in one go is going to be your best option. So I would like finagle that into place. Actually, I'm gonna do this and kind of like rotate it around and do that. There we go. Now I'm gonna scale it up as best I can. And I'm going to hide like the flower part inside of Eramis. So I'm going to want to tilt it a bit further up for that maybe. And then I'm going to translate it down. So it's like that. Now I gotta do something about that bar, so I will pull it up a bit. Not. Okay. No, let's okay. So if I do this, and then I pull it up like that, you get some spikes. Let me try rotating it to get more of the spikes and less of the flowers. But then you still get the bar. Okay. So I might have to scale this and do a few different versions of this. Like multiples of the flower crown to get more of the spikes. But I also can try this. There we go. So I get more, like, of the larger spikes. I can always disguise, like, the flowers as something else, too. So, and then I'm gonna add, did that work? Yeah, this actually might be very good for a lot of extra ice spikes, too. So, I'm gonna put this, there we go. So now you got like a whole helmet for Eramis right here. That's a major part of the Eliksni is their helmets, and just how detailed they are. So of course you're going to need to add the eyes next. So that is located in the primitive shapes. They just added this part this week. You can just add eyes. And what I usually do is I'm going to scale it so it's more like an oval shape, because Eliksni do have more like oval for eyes instead of like round. So it's just kind of like this. I'm going to pull that up a little bit. And there you go, you got Eramis' whole head right there. So let's see what other details she's kind of missing. I still got 4 kitbashing slots left. Alright, so she's kind of got like this center chest piece that goes like right here. I'm probably going to use Gauntlet for that and try to finagle it into place a little better. Alright, let me find other pictures for reference. Oh, I just realized she has a cape. Okay, so I can add that on. Capes are not too hard after you've started kitbashing. You can always just kind of adjust those. It's whatever. So that's going to be in gear. I'm going to use the Super Suit Cape. That's pretty close to what she's got, actually. Now I will edit the posing of that. And go to this center chest piece will be next. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back to shoulder pads. How do I want to do this? Alright, Alright, I'm actually going to use this, and I'm going to change, like, the shape of it. So, I'm going to bring it down, rotating it. Okay, so alright, and then I'm gonna scale and make it look skinnier, but taller, like that. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna translate that over, and I'm gonna rotate it just to fit a little better. Kind of like do that. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit lower, so I will bring it somewhat lower like that. And then I can just... there we go. That looks pretty good. Okay. And then... I've still got 3 slots left, so let me see what other details I can add without having to sacrifice too much. Okay, so she's got like some spikes on like a gauntlet here. So what I like to do for that is I go into the gloves and where is it? This one. The wrist-mounted grappling hook is basically perfect for this sort of thing. Actually, you know what? That doesn't look half bad as it is. Okay, so I'm gonna keep that. I still got 2 kitbashing slots. So let me see, like, a lot of the Eliksni have, kind of like, elbow, protection, so I usually use kind of like, a shoulder pad for that. And it does appear that Eramis has that, so I'm going to use the last 2 slots to go here and here. So I really like using Knight Errant Spalders for this. It's very much like a shapely figure kind of thing, so it's easy to wrap around like an elbow and just kind of like fit into place. What? Okay, sorry, weird glitches. Okay, so yeah, so you can just kind of like do that and then scale it down. I'm gonna translate that into place. Alright, there we go. See, so you got like that, and she's got one more over here, so I'm just gonna duplicate this. Okay, so now you've got most of Eramis right now. I really do like that. Okay, so I'm gonna save, and now comes the fun part of coloring. So there's a lot you can do with colors and decals. So I always start with like the color of the Eliksni hands and stuff. For that, what I do is they're kind of like a more purplish color. I go for this one here, the Demon Blue. I should probably just save the paint already, because I use it so much. But basically, like, I color everything that I can, in one go. Okay, so, let me get, like, kind of a better match for her coloring. Now, for the eyes, I actually like to use this blue flame to gas stove. And, like, because a lot of the Eliksni helmets just make their eyes like glowing bright blue. So it does help to just have like a nice kind of bright blue flame. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what causes these crashes, but it does happen. You just kind of gotta deal with it. Alright, so Eramis' clothes are a very kind of like distinct blue color. This is a pretty close, yeah, this is a pretty close match. So I'm gonna do this, and then she kind of has like a darker, color like this here for everything inside. Alright, and let me, okay, so let me find some other details. Okay, so I'm gonna do like this for that, and like that. Okay, and this is more kind of like a brighter blue, so what I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna go in here, duplicate this, and I'm going to just kind of make it brighter and see how that gets me, and I will edit it from there. Now, I'll go ahead and color like the base. For that, I usually like to do the Criminally in Sage, just because it's much better looking in my opinion. Contrasts nice with like the bright silver that you get like here and all that. And I'm gonna go in and start adjusting some of these paints. Because I mean, like, it's a much brighter blue, for example, when you hit like the lighter parts. So yeah, that looks gorgeous. That is perfect. Okay, and now comes the fun part of the decals. So with decals, I do like to use this very last setting, the projected decals, because what you can do is, you can, what I'll do is like the dirt stain, for example, and it's pretty big, but it goes across multiple pieces. And what I can do is I can go here into the settings, and I can select the pieces that I want it on. So I'm going to have it like taken off of most things, except for just for clothing. So let me take it all off of that. Almost done. Okay, so yeah, now it's just kind of like attached to this leg here, and I will add that, and there we go. Cool. So you've got a partially stasis frozen Eramis, and that's basically it. So now you have a badass Eliksni woman. So that's basically what I do, and that's how I just kind of make everything in HeroForge. That's most of it comes from the kit bashing and from this overall projected decals, which I'm really hoping they add more slots for both. Because I mean, you can add so much more detail if you have more of those slots. But yeah, So I hope this tutorial was helpful. If you guys do need anything, if you need any assistance with trying to kit bash stuff, put stuff in the comments. Let me know. I'll be more than glad to help.